All right, Case, let's keep this trade talk talking because all this stuff around sports got us to thinking about the biggest trades that changed Boston sports history.
Plot twist.
All right, let's run through this little pop quiz here. Some of this stuff happened before our time.
I know. I feel like this is also my induction into Boston.
It's like, welcome.
Hello.
Tell us about the history.
How much did you hate this trade?
I know. All right, so here's one right off the gate here. Mm-hmm. The Red Sox trading Babe Ruth to the Yankees. So, okay, to be fair, we know about the curse.
Right?
Right?
That's the loudest thing about this entire situation.
Thank you.
Right. And before my time, but yes. I don't mess with curses, number one.
That's
number
right.
two, it is just rude to do rivalry trades.
Facts.
That's all. It's just rude.
That's a good point. Mm-hmm. Also, can I just say, am I being disrespectful to Babe Ruth when I say I've seen Shohei Ohtani? I'm over it.
I don't know if you're allowed to say that yet.
I mean, I'm just saying. I've seen Shohei. There is no debate. I'm sorry. Babe Ruth was smoking cigarettes and eating hot dogs in the fourth inning. Like, I watched Shohei do every damn thing.
Oh, my gosh. He does everything.
Like, he does everything.
Dang, that's a great comparable, though. I'd love to hear. I'd love to hear what the diehards come in on this one.
Yeah, I'm sure they will come for me, Case. I will be hearing from them. The Patriots trading for both Randy Moss and Wes Welker during the 2007 season. So this is more our wheelhouse here.
Yes, thank you.
Of course, we remember this.
I was alive.
I mean, Wes was balling at the time, but with Randy Moss specifically, I remember thinking he was washed.
Oh, yeah.
Boy, was I wrong. Because Brady got a hold of that, and it was on.
That's what it takes. It takes that arm. It takes that guy. It takes that leader. There was some funny banters and back and forth when Tom Brady got roasted too, by the way, where you realize like Randy Moss was happy that they brought him into the fold and he had that opportunity to kind of reinvent himself a little bit, but also resurge his career. We talked about it a little bit beforehand. So be able to close your career on a higher note for the most part, like there was just so much indebtedness and hope between the two. So I'm a big fan of this one, especially because Wes Welker, I mean, we just talked about it. Yeah. So unorthodox, and I'm a big fan of those underdog guys that get the job done.
By the way, low key, that was part of the Patriots brand for a while, was bringing in old guys like a Moss, a Corey Dillon, and sort of resurrecting their careers.
Yep.
How about this one to hockey? Bruins trade goalie Ron Graham to the Kings for a first-round pick, flipping that into Ray Bourque. Hey, listen, from my childhood, I was learning about sports, and I would take stars and just put them to their teams. And anytime I thought Bruins, I thought Ray Bourque.
You did?
Yeah. Like that was in my childhood when I thought Bruins, not being from here, it was Ray Bourque immediately went to my mind because that's all I grew up with. He was here forever.
Yeah. I mean, obviously extremely impactful.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I just think about the trade request out. And that's where you're just kind of like the wounds open back up a little bit. So, yeah, but I mean, definitely a notable guy part of the Bruins system. And
that's a Kings problem. They need to heal, not.
Right. I'm like, where the attitude comes in could be a whole thing.
I just think, listen, in trades, someone has to win, someone has to lose. Good for the Bruins for winning that one.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, here's another Bruins one case. Bruins trade for Cam Neely in 1986. Neely in a first-round pick, Glenn Wesley to the Bruins from Vancouver for Barry Peterson. So 86, I was born, but I was too damn young to know what was going on. But obviously Cam Neely, I mean, much like Ray Bourque, you think, at least for me as a kid, thinking of Bruins, he was another one that I thought of synonymous with this organization. Yeah,
not born, but I will say this, as a hockey fan and somebody growing up around the NHL and stuff, his immediate impact, also how his game changed with the Bruins. I'd say that like the way that he started to kind of change up his game a little bit helped a lot. But you get 2 Stanley Cup final runs, never got that cup. I wish he had the opportunity to have that cup, but I definitely say that was a great trade on behalf of them.
All right, let's go to baseball. The Sox trading for Curt Schilling following the 2003 season, and then a bloody sock, and a legend was born later.
A bloody sock? Can somebody unpack that one for me?
Well, he did. I mean, listen, it was a heroic performance. There's no doubt about it. And there's no question that curse we talked about with Babe is not lifted without Curt Schilling, clearly. So you got to give him props for that. Celtics trade for both Ray Allen and Kevin Garnett just 3 days apart in 2007. I definitely remember this one because Kevin Garnett, during his career, was my favorite NBA player. And I remember thinking kind of what we talked about with Myles Garrett. Like, damn. He's finally going to win.
Yeah.
I assumed the championship. He did get one.
Yep.
But just the fact that he was going to be in the playoffs and having a chance to do anything because in Minnesota he's putting up numbers and losing games, Case.
Right. Well, that's the other thing is like sometimes you have these trades and you're like, oh, he's finally a part of a team in an organization where he can win, and then the winning doesn't happen, or it's that close but no cigar. So the fact that he collected a championship, like, I feel you on that one. But more importantly, this trade, what I like most about it is you got two guys that immediately impactful, and their numbers in the finals when they won the championship, it's just like you could tell how hungry they were to finally get that, and the fact that Boston brought it to him.
Red Sox send Mookie Betts and David Price to the Dodgers for Alex Verdugo, Jeter Downs, and Connor Wong. I mean, listen, this is one Sox fans talk about constantly. We know Mookie has been happy and very successful in L.A., but it always comes back to money.
Right.
And so that when I think of that trade and how people get upset, I'm just like, listen, he didn't want to resign. He didn't want to be here. Whatever side you believe in it, you got to make a move. They got back what they thought they could.
You couldn't force him to stay, but losing Mookie Betts, that's painful.
It was painful.
Yeah, I didn't love that one, honestly. I'm not a fan of that
one.
Do you feel like there could have been a conversation that made it more enticing for him to stay?
Sure, but again, it didn't happen. So you have to get back what you can for him. Yeah. And they did that. It just didn't work out. Here's one that will make us both feel better in terms of healing. Pedro from the Expos to the Red Sox. I mean, my goodness gracious.
Pedro's from the Expos.
That's healing right there.
It feels, I felt zen just as it came off the tongue.
Pedro is the Red Sox case. Pedro and Poppy are the Red Sox.
Yeah. Like, what would their identity be if these two, if that never happened? I think that's hands down what it is.
All right, Pedro
and Poppy.
Pedro and Poppy.
Tagline it for the Sox.
That's the Sox.
Yeah.
The Patriots trade the 16th pick in the 2000 draft plus a 4th and a 7th round pick in 2001 for Bill Belichick, a 2001 5th rounder and a 2002 7th rounder. Now, this is where I defend Robert Kraft at every turn.
Hey-o.
No one ever gives this guy credit for trading for Belichick. Everyone's quick to give Brady credit. Everyone's quick to give Belichick credit. And then most of us are sick and tired of the Krafts doing whatever.
Right.
But this is where you have to give Robert Kraft props. Because I do remember this, and people saying, Bill Belichick, why are you giving him? Well, it turned out to be the right move, Case.
Yeah, well, because we talk about, I think it was George and a couple of the other guys that mentioned the conversation of it, breaking down the Patriots dynasty into two dynasty runs. Well, dynasty run number 2 does not happen without Sir Belichick in the mix, which means this was one of the most granular moves that was properly handled, I'd say.
I will give him all the props. And this is coming from someone who is on Tom Brady's side for all these arguments.
Right.
But I don't think you win any of them without Belichick. There was only one Super Bowl where I felt like he was out-coached, and it was that stupid Eagles one with Nick Foles. Like, Nick Foles beat Tom Brady? Are you kidding? But I thought it was because Doug Peterson out-coached Belichick.
I just say Minnesota
right.
Super Bowl. Yeah.
The Celtics trade Ed McCauley and Cliff Hagan to Rochester. Wow. For the number 2 pick in the 1956 NBA draft. Any of you around then? We were not.
Give us your take, please.
Yeah, respectfully, please let us know. Turning it into Bill Russell. Wow. Now that is the trade.
There you go. That's the only input I can have on that. I'd love for you to enter the chat. All that can tell us about the magnificence of that 1956.
Hey, if you were there, much respect to you, especially if you're watching us right now. You could teach us a couple things for sure. You can always email us and tweet at us with Ness and Chat as well. But listen, Bill Russell, I mean, what can't you say about him? Not just his impact on the Celtics organization, which is huge,
the NBA.
but the NBA. And how about this, Casey? Society. Mm-hmm. I mean, this is a guy, he broke color barriers. He did all kinds of things for society. And that is the number one thing I think about with Bill Russell. Yes, the championships are great. Yes, his impact on the court for the team, for the franchise is great. But Bill Russell, the man, Case, that's the key.
Impactful on and off the court, which not everybody can hold at both ends. So.
Amen.